So I was reading like headlines from the Rand Corporation. I mean, these papers have been out for years, but they're talking about stabilizing or breaking apart countries like Russia and Iran, and they're saying that this is good for American strategic interests. Essentially, that's kind of what they're implying. There's a lot of nuance that they do talk about, and they say, well, they can cause this and this and this problem. Um, you know, I I think it's very obvious to anybody who actually thinks about what's going on or what these countries are. Iran, for example, it's an Islamic country. It's mountainous. It's um, it's more conservative than other Muslim countries on average, especially when you get outside the urban areas, like I said, in the rural areas. And if you break that country up, if you destabilize it, the Iranian government actually does its own anti-terrorism because I mean you got different factions, different ethnicities, and they want to make it so that they can rule over these people. So they have a strong central government. They have a strong intel service that keeps everything in check. So if you destabilize Iran, you break it up, you're going to lose that infrastructure, and you'll have a hotbed for radical terrorism, which again the elite probably do want because that'll provide them with the crises that they need to become more authoritarian or have the justification in place so that they can grab more power for themselves. So breaking up Iran is absolutely not in the interest of the American people, and really not in the interest of anybody in the long term. I'm not saying that Iran doesn't have room for improvement as a country. I would love to see I guess maybe the term is liberalization of Iran. In other words, a more free market, less corrupt, a society that allows for people to actually speak their mind, have open debates. Another country is Russia, largest nuclear arsenal in the world, and it does have Muslim populations in the south, which if you remember, the Boston bomber came from Chechnya, which is in the very southern part of Russia. So they also have an issue with radical Islam to some degree. And again, like I said, it's a country with the largest nuclear arsenal in the world. Now imagine destabilizing that country. Do you think that makes anyone safer? Imagine if some of these radical Islamists from the southern part of Russia get a hold of nuclear weapons. They're talking about Iran. Iran can't have nuclear weapons. But yet, oftentimes, these are the same people that are talking about destabilizing and breaking up Russia. Now, Russia, of course, is not a perfect country. It's got a lot of problems. But it's still a country that, in order to have world security, you actually want to keep it as a stable country. You actually want to work with it on security matters and actually on economic matters. It's got a very vast what's the word I'm looking for? Deposits of natural resources. So, from an economic standpoint, there's a lot of room for a lot of room for benefit, a lot of opportunities there. So, these people in Washington D.C. Yes, I understand the Rand Corporation in California, but essentially it's like the Beltway mentality. It's not. This is not planning for American interests, for the interests of people like you and I, or for anybody around the world. This is the interests of a relatively very small group of elites, and really to fulfill their interests at the expense of everybody else's is insane and very destructive.